Hola everyone, welcome to Flexibility Script. Today's video is going to be covering the use of a Voodoo Band for releasing tension, tightness, pain in the ankle, and improving range of motion at the ankle, along with improving issues that can be brought on by plantar fasciitis or just Achilles tendon issues or calf issues, anything affecting the foot and ankle in general. The Voodoo Band, it's one of the most powerful tools I feel out there on the market in terms of improving range of motion, improving flexibility, releasing tightness, and it kind of encompasses all the mobility systems into one. It's mostly used on your extremities for shoulder down and from top of the thigh down, not along your neck or your abdomen. It applies compression around the whole joint or musculature to release tension and improve swelling. That compression that it provides, if there's a swollen joint or tissue, the compression provided by the Voodoo Band will end up helping the lymphatic system take up that swelling, take up that fluid that could be a big cause of pain and lack of range of motion, and makes your lymphatic system kind of pump it out naturally. When that band is removed from that tissue or joint that you're dealing with, you'll feel a rush of blood flow come back to the area, and it's great for getting blood flow back to areas that may be poorly saturated and lacking blood flow and movement due to previous injury or matted down scar tissue that can be affecting range of motion. The Voodoo Band will help with all of that. I like using it on the ankle because it really helps improve ankle range of motion, helps with running, helps with the consistent pointing of my toe that can usually shorten that tissue down there when I participate in different sports. The Voodoo Band, it's really important to realize that you don't keep it on for more than 2 minutes. It's very short, usually 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and you'll see the release. When you wrap it, it's very general wrapping in terms of general meaning the way you wrap this will be the way you use it for most areas of the body, and that's when you wrap the band, usually will cover half of what you put down. So if I wrap it, as I wrap around, I'll cover half of what I've wrapped around. So that way it's like a 1/2 inch overlay. As you keep wrapping, you keep covering half of what you put down. That's one. Part two is that you usually employ anywhere from 50 to 75% tension around with the Voodoo Band around the area that you're wanting to have the most effect. So this is no tension, 50%, 75%. There's about 100%. So you'd be anywhere in the 50 to 75% range when you're applying tension to the area. Know that as you're wrapping the area, so let's say you're dealing with a lot of tension in your quad or right above the knee, as you wrap the area, that tension, that 50% to 75% tension will be going over the quad, and then nothing really will go behind the quad. So you're keeping that compression of tension be around the area that you're wanting to have the effect on, and you'd be tension, wrap, no tension. Tension, wrap, no tension. And that would be the way you would go about any area of the body when you're dealing with the extremities. Today's video, like I said, is going to cover the ankle. So the ankle, and you'll end up affecting the tissue of the foot and the ankle Achilles tendon as well. It's a very simple release. Everything that you do with the Voodoo Band, once you wrap the band around the area of the body that you're wanting to affect, it's really important to start taking it through range of motion. And that range of motion can be as simple as for the ankle as pointing and flexing the foot, for the quad or hamstring as simple as bending and straightening the knee, or you can actually take it through some movement like squatting, deadlifting, lunging, excuse me, side lunging, in order to create some change in the tissue. Goal is, once it's compressed, get that movement going through, very similar to any lacrosse ball or foam rolling techniques where you're pinning the tissue down and adding movement both to release the tissue and improve range of motion. the Voodoo Band is doing the same, but on a much higher level and encompassing a lot more tissue than that ball would, because it'll take into account more area as opposed to the ball. So for the ankle, you'll end up wrapping, that tension will be around the bottom of the foot and around the back of the ankle as well. So as I wrap, you'll see that I'll put tension around the bottom of the foot, and at the top of the foot will really not have much tension. I'll always start right around the, right below the toes. So right around the very top of the foot, I'm going to wrap the band. I can go in either in this direction or wrap it around in the other direction. Just for the video's sake, I'm going to take my my Snoopy sock off just so that you could see my foot. I just realized that you may not be really able to see the band since my since the sock is black. So around the foot, actually around the exposed skin is usually really nice. So I'm going to take the band, place it around, and again, this top part doesn't have any tension whatsoever. I'm going to be taking a slight pull to the band. There's my 50%, and I'm going to wrap it around the bottom of the foot, and then from there, there's no tension around the top. And again, about a 50% overlay. I'll pin this side down so that way I can put a stretch to just that portion of the band, wrap, and then no tension on the other side. Again, pin, stretch, wrap, no tension on that top part. Pin it, stretch, wrap, and keep going along. As you keep going, you'll be covering more and more of the bottom of the foot, as you see here. Once I hit around the heel here, I'll leave a little peekaboo of the heel, and I'll be just wrapping around the top of the foot and ankle here. And then from here, I'll be taking the band. Again, I'm going to be pinning it on this side here, stretch, and it's going to go around that Achilles tendon area. Then again, wrap, stretch, compress, wrap, pin, stretch, compress, and I'll just keep going up. I can keep going up to the top of the foot, or I can use this little bit that's left and then just go around the rest of the bottom of the foot here, and just find a place for the band to tuck that little end strap in. So maybe I'll find another place. So from here, the more you do the wrapping of the band, the better and sometimes the prettier it'll get as you wrap too. So I'm just finding a place to wrap it. And I'm just holding my leg up just for video's sake. I would definitely be more comfortable if I was to be just here wrapping it. But just once it's wrapped, all I'm going to be doing is I'm just taking the leg into pointing and flexing the foot. I can keep it up here, I can bring it down low, but once I wrap it, I go right into pointing and flexing my foot. As I do this, I'll feel the compression of the band, and it's really important for me to keep an eye out on time. So I want to make sure I don't go past the 2 minutes, usually anywhere 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And what will usually happen is you'll start seeing a bit of a loss in color to the foot. It's very normal for your skin, depending on the area where you've wrapped, for the skin that's left over to start looking like that of a cadaver, like that of a dead person, as the lack of blood flow that results from the compression applied from the Voodoo Band. It's really normal to see that. Usually when you start seeing that loss of color, you're getting pretty close, or it is time to remove that Voodoo Band. And you may usually feel sometimes some tingles. Usually when I do the Voodoo Band on the shoulder, the person's hands will tingle, and usually at that point you respect the tingles and you remove the band. Therefore it's time to remove the band. So once I've hit about 1 minute to 2 minutes, I'll just remove the band. And as I remove the band, you'll start seeing a rush of blood flow come back, and the tissue will start getting a little red as the blood flow starts coming back to it. And that's normal. That blood flow coming back to it is what the red is. It's normal to have little markings left on the skin. They're not permanent. They'll go away with time, usually within a couple minutes. Also, the feeling of the freedom of the bottom of the foot, of that compression, you should feel like there's some give in the tissue. So if I was wrapping it, if I would have touched along the bottom of the foot or the ankle, there may have been tension and that tissue isn't sliding well. And as soon as the Voodoo Band is released, you'll feel that freedom of movement to all the sliding surfaces be returned back. The Voodoo Band can be used, you can let blood flow come back. Once blood flow is coming back, I could wrap the roll of the Voodoo Band right back up and compress again, and I could do it 2 to 3 times. And to improve mobility and decrease range of motion, if I'm dealing with a sprained ankle, the Voodoo Band is wonderful because it'll end up helping get rid of that swelling and improve the range of motion and really help you recover from the injury and speed up that recovery time when dealing with injury. It helps great for sprains, strains, so to treat injury, to prevent injury, it's a wonderful tool. I'll be doing some more videos to come covering other areas of the body, and there's also things that you could do in combination with banded movements that can help release the tissue at the same time. Try it out. Most people will purchase them from Rogue Fitness, the website, and they're just great tools to carry and have with you in your pocket. The more videos I do on it, the better idea you'll get on it. If you have one or if you have exposure to one, go give it a try. Definitely highly recommend. Have fun, enjoy the freedom, and know that there's more to come.